Hello everyone, it is Alphabet and welcome back to another episode of Boom Beach, and in this video I'm gonna tell you how you can beat my base. Now, that might be a really stupid thing to throw out there. I am gonna be changing my base up soon, but I kinda want to share with you what you can do to take this base down, because in actuality, if you play your cards right, you're able to take down any base relatively easily with trial and error, of course. But essentially, the main message behind this video is how you're able to properly analyze a attack, I suppose. That's gonna be part of it, but also what we can learn out of the information that we're getting from our defensive log, because I feel I have not really covered that topic onto the channel a whole lot, and I have a couple of pretty interesting attacks to show you that Zafari did on my base. So basically, starting off from the beginning, I cannot show these two because it only shows you 5 defenses for some odd reason. Let's start off with this one, see what he's gonna be doing over here. He's starting off with critters because he wants to get both of the boom mines. That is a valid attack strategy, because that way you're not going to be losing any warriors upon launch, and that's, you know, it's great. I can't am bothered right now that I want to show you these defenses that I'm not able to pass the defense. I really wish that's gonna be a functionality into the future, and speaking of that, in the very near future I'm gonna be making a video talking about really handy things that I'm hoping Boom Beach is gonna be adding into the future. So be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see that video, and hopefully I'll be able to give you some sneak peeks whenever that might happen. Anyway, that being said, let's go to the second attack over here. Zafari, this time around he was boosted up. Look at this. He had 82% troop damage, he had 180% gunboat energy, and when he took me down, which was in the final attack, he had half of that. So he was boosted up, wasn't able to take me down, and then after that, he wasn't boosted up, and he actually did take me down. So I just kind of thought that was ironic. So let's actually go ahead and see how he's attacking my base. So essentially, what I know is that whenever people are using gunboat energy, or whenever people are boosted up, they are getting more lazy. They're like, hey, I can afford this, I can actually afford to drop that extra smoke, to drop that extra gunboat energy. In this particular scenario, you're gonna see what's gonna be happening. So first off, he drops the barrage just before the machine gun, hopefully getting some mines. He isn't really all that successful, so he's dropping a whole bunch of artillery in order to actually get rid of some of those mines, because he has that gunboat energy to do that. 180% is actually quite a bit. So let's see what he does over here. He's dropping the warriors right now. He's making his way up to the sculptor. Drops in the first smoke, a second smoke, and a third smoke. I personally think you could have only dropped 2 smokes in there, but I'll just leave that up for debate. In this particular scenario, it's kind of funny. He's dropping the flare on the headquarters. He should have taken care of the sawmill. Like, that's what you're gonna be having to do on this base in order to take it down. And as you can see, nothing really, he's not helping himself. This medkit is totally placed wrong because it's only healing like 3 of his all warriors, so that's pretty bad. And then in the ending he drops 3 shock bombs, 1 over there, 1 on the shock bomb, and 1 on the other shock bomb. While what he could have been doing is drop a box of critters right in between the machine guns, drop a shock bomb on that. The critters would have no way been gone, but the shock launcher would actually focus on the critters, and he could have done the same thing at the other side. So the third shock bomb, funny enough, is costing you 17 gunboat energy. That is the equivalent of your second medkit, which is going to be costing you 9 gunboat energy and 1 box of critters. So that's how expensive the third shock bomb is. So with that in mind, let's actually go ahead and take a look at our base. So over here, we have the base. So once again, breaking it down, you can basically drop 1 shock bomb, getting the flamethrower and both of the machine guns, because those are the biggest threats out there. I mean, mortars still can potentially hurt, but not as much as a flamethrower or machine guns. And then if you drop a critter box right in the middle over here with these machine guns, you drop the critters first and then you drop the shock bomb. The only thing that can really hit the critters at that point is going to be this mortar over here, and that mortar in no way, shape or form is going to be taking care of every single critter. So that way this shock launch is going to be like, hey, there's a critter around this boom cannon, let's just shock that part, leaving the warriors open, and by that time the warriors just going to go smack smackety smack smack, taking out the headquarters just like that. It's the same scenario here. I even have this machine gun over here and upgrading, so this guy is in luck as well, and he could have just dropped a shock shock bomb in between this flamethrower and this mortar, and that way this shock launcher would have been, hey, there's a critter here next to this boom cannon, let's shock that. So he could have gone away, but only dropping 2 shock bombs there and still taking out this base really easily, because to be fair, if you know what you're doing, if you know this game well enough, this base is really easy to take down. Anyway, moving on to the next attack, over here. He's trying something else again. Let's just go ahead and take a look at what it is that he's doing. It's a short attack, once again with the critters, not dropping the critters in properly. If you see yourself getting successful in this particular scenario, I would just drop the warriors already, because these buildings are already distracted anyway. And if you just drop the warriors, then, you know, you already know what I'm talking about here. Let's break it down to the final attack, where he actually takes me down. Significantly less gunboat energy over here and less troop damage, but he was able to take me down. Only lost 10 warriors here. Let's see what he did here. Even with this attack, I feel he could have done a little bit better. In this particular scenario, still dropping the barrage at the same location, actually getting more mines this time around. And he's making a really great move. He actually learned from this, and he saw that the flamethrower and the sawmill are gonna be in the way, which is definitely true. And then over here, let's see what he's gonna be doing. And he's this time around going to the sniper tower. I would have still gone for the sculptor, dropping 3 smokes. The second one is totally irrelevant, because you can let those warriors in that little gap there if you really want to. The flare onto the machine gun is something I definitely agree with, but what you can see over here, you can basically be a little bit more, you can drop your smokes more loose than he is. He's really careful with overlapping the smokes together, and you can leave a little gap in between if you really want to. And he's basically shocking the same way. He's shocking the same areas. Essentially what he's doing is he's using 2 shock bombs for 2 shock launchers and anything else out of it. I mean, he is for sure getting the boom cannon over here and the mortar. But if you're using the warriors, then those are not even defenses you should be looking at. You should really be looking at the shock launchers, shock blasters, machine guns, and the flamethrowers. Those are the type of buildings you want to be taking a look at. So if we take a look at his attack once more, what can we personally gain out of this? One thing that I noticed is that with a single barrage, he was able to take care of this machine gun over here. That machine gun is level 15, and I got machine guns over here which are level 21. So I'm probably going to be swapping this machine gun over here in that location over there, so that way if we get the same type of player attacking us, we won't be taken down there, and that machine gun is actually going to be somewhat of an obstacle for someone to take it down. And then next up, that is if he's going to be walking to the headquarters. What we could have done is these mines behind the mortars, we can actually place them where the boom cannon is, because then some of those warriors will actually run over that. So that is the feedback that we are getting out of these attacks. So it's very important, and that's the bottom line. It is very important for you as a Boom Beach player to take a look at your defensive attacks and learn out of that, because that's where you get the best information, not only for attacking but also for defending. Right now, people are guaranteed not to take out this machine gun that easily. If he's dropping the barrage on this wooden storage, it's gonna be damaging the machine gun, but not to the point where it actually gets taken down. And over here, these mines will actually take some warriors alongside as well. It will do some extra damage on that. Maybe it's gonna be the difference between winning or losing. I am gonna be remaking my base, because this base is obviously garbage. It gets taken down, well, all the time basically. Home base rated even by Hammerman. So yeah, this base is in no way, shape or form any base that you should be following. This base can be good if you got prototype defenses, but I don't. I'm kind of working on a plan to make a solid base for that. Anyway, that's gonna be doing it for this video. Hope that you guys gained something out of this. If you did, then make sure you let me know in the comment section down below. If you want more defensive replays and stuff like that, make sure you also let me know in the comment section down below. And that's gonna be doing it for now. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, make sure if you guys like this video to boom, give it a thumbs up. And this has been Reverse for Boom Beach. I'm gonna be signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.